Hello, hello. As we wait for people to hop on here from both Facebook and YouTube. I'm not sure which one finished first. Welcome to eCafe. Welcome. We're happy that you guys are here. For those who are wondering what eCafe means or is, it is Engage Cafe. And it's a place where we get to engage with each other, ask deeper questions about the sermon we just heard, have a little fun, connect a little bit, laugh a little bit, eat a little bit, make fun of each other. Just kidding. Don't do that. That's not nice. But we're happy that you guys are here. Let's see in the comments. Evie's always the first one on here. Marie Tucker, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Evie, you're always the first one. Always the first one. Marie says hello, hello, hello. Ryan, eCafe, y'all. Sarah, Miss Fish, good morning, good morning. Mr. Sharky, Mr. Fish, happy Sabbath. Good to see you, good to see you. Happy Sabbath. And as people hop on here, we'll see who we got in the stream today. We have nothing other than the First Lady herself, Miss Kara Osugera.
Hey everyone! Hello, hello.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. How are you?
We love the, everyone was raving about your background, your
I
amazing
know.
color coordinator stuff.
Yes, I am actually very proud of it. So
It's
I had to
very
hunt through all our
visually-
books to find all of the specifically colored ones.
Oh, Pastor David's on here too. Oh, and Everly,
Oh.
special guest alert.
Most-
Hold on one
It's
second.
mostly Everly that's
Hold on.
in
We
here.
gotta show the special guest alert. Pew 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 pew
Oh,
pew
no.
pew pew pew. Everly Osugera is on here as well.
Everly, say hola. Say hola. She doesn't have any headphones on, so she's just
Oh, yeah,
she
she
thinks it's a
can't.
silent movie.
Oh, Ola Regina, hello, hello. And then last but not least, we have the host of What's Your Story, the show, the amazing, the talented, the eating, Leilani Langdon.
What did he call her? The what?
I saw her eating some chips before.
Oh.
Hey, pew, 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 pew. I'm filling in for my husband.
You got a little echo going on.
My AirPods are not working. I'm going to grab some headphones. Continue.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute
I know.
myself.
I couldn't figure out how to work these AirPods.
Everly's having a good time. Look, everyone's saying hi to Everly.
Say hi.
Hi, Everly. Say hola. Hola.
Hola, Everly.
Everly, say happy Sabbath.
Say hey, DQ.
She won't say it until after she leaves.
It happens. Okay. Well, we just finished our last part of this series. How did it feel, David? How did it feel to preach that message?
That's good. I just watched yours and preached the same message you did the first one.
No, I think it was cool to have the bookends of the
Yeah.
same stories. Like, you definitely had a different twist. You had a different calling, which was really awesome. But yeah, no, 100%. Whenever I hear the phrase like "don't look back" or "don't go back," I think of Star Wars Episode 1, which was a terrible movie.
I don't
Never seen
remember. No, I did,
Is
but I
there
don't
any
remember.
Star Wars fans on here? I want to see what my Star Wars fans on here are.
No.
That should be a debate club.
They're,
Star Wars.
They're all at the church prepping for next week.
I watched Star Wars on a youth trip one time because we had a big, what are those big buses?
Uh-huh.
You know, with the TVs. They put Star Wars on, and I fell asleep. I just.
Yeah,
couldn't do
my
it.
my cousin was born in the 70s, and so I was forced to watch it growing up. I was not allowed to watch anything else other than that. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We have some cool new segments. Well, not cool new segments, but they're just segments, but with awesome graphics. So those in the chat that are hopping on, let us see those highlights.
Okay.
Give us the highlights. Give us
Pew,
the
pew, pew,
highlights.
pew, 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 pew.
Fancy.
Very fancy. I worked on that
I
last
love
night.
it. I love it.
So
Okay,
everyone,
Dave.
let's see those highlights.
Is there an echo now? Are you guys
There's not an
good?
echo. We're good.
Not a good echo.
Hi, Everly. Look at that big smile.
Yeah, she can't hear you.
Oh,
So those who are hopping on, like I said, share those highlights. We want to hear about them. We want to know what's going on. What's the highlight of your week?
Mercy.
And I'll shoot that over to Kara and Leilani.
I know. I'm sitting here trying to think. You know, it's like I know every week this question is coming, and yet every week I feel like I don't.
Okay, so
I should have an answer prepared.
oh my gosh, I'll give a highlight. So 2 Fridays ago, when I went to go pick up the kids, my car shut down in the middle. Thank God, not in the middle of the road because I had the sense to turn into a parking lot. And then when I called Adrian to come pick me up, his car wouldn't start. So like I'm literally laughing. Because I'm like, of course. No, I mean that is so not how I would normally have reacted. But
and you had your 3 babies, and you had your 3 kids.
The 3 kids in tow. I didn't have a diaper bag for Elijah because it was just literally a pickup,
Right.
you know.
Quick.
And luckily, I had their scooters and their, his stroller. So we just all packed on our stuff, and we were like, I guess we're just gonna walk around, go back to the school. Anyway, highlight was Pastor David came to rescue us and pick us up. So thank you for that. He also jumped Adrian's car, and then the biggest, craziest, I feel like it was just God. Where my car rolled up to, first of all, was a stop sign in the back alley of some stores, right? So it's out of the way of danger and stuff like that. But then when I went to go tell the business owner that the car was back there to not tow it, he was like, oh, okay. He was like, well, do you see that house? And I'm like, yeah. It was literally the house right next to us, across the street. He's like, well, right next to that house is a mechanic. So you could literally roll it right to the place. So that's pretty much what Adrian ended up doing later on in the day. But we got it fixed. So praise God, our cars are up and running again. And
very cool.
We are, and it was the alternator. The alternator was dead.
And that's what happens. I got stuck on the side of the road in the dead of winter with a blown alternator.
Yes.
Freezing.
It's rough. This day was perfect. So I was just like, thank you, God, for the weather. So that was my highlight. But yeah.
Very cool. Evie says such a powerful message. I really needed to hear it.
Yeah.
Very awesome. Marie says, well, Tyler says through Marie, that message was fire.
So Marie, you didn't think it was a good message? Is that what it is? I'm just kidding. I feel like I can tease her. I feel like, after a year and a half, I'm allowed to tease her a little bit.
That is so funny.
Kara, how about you? You and David, what are your highlights?
Oh, what was our highlight?
So, for me it's always food pantry when we have it.
Oh yeah, that was this week.
Also, Friday nights, on Friday evenings for dinner, we always have pizza. That was a highlight.
Yes. Okay. Maybe that should be something that we ask people.
What?
Where to get pizza.
Yes. After the highlights, we'll ask the question where to get the best
pizza.
pizza.
Ask that question.
Yeah.
Because we have
I got a few.
Dilemma.
We've tried everywhere, and nothing is what we want.
We'll have to have the pizza discussion.
Highlights. What else?
Jeff said something, Dave.
Let's see what he says. He says a lot of things.
Okay, I got it.
Like Star Wars.
Oh, there. No. He says our dog. Is it Leia? Approves of this reference. So many spiritual.
Princess
Leia, Princess Leia.
Mm-hmm.
There is. I can share the whole.
Oh, in Star Wars.
Story of Star Wars. Ooh, Andrew Christopher says finally got some good news about returning to work day. Praise God.
Yay!
That's always praise the Lord. Anne has a. Did you see Anne's?
Let's see. Anne's.
I want to know what it is.
Can you find Anne's?
Yes, it says my highlights. I can't click on it.
Oh, there
it
is.
Yeah, my highlights. Miracle of miracles. Me. I was able to figure out something electronically on my phone. Listen, that's a real thing.
Can she post what it was? I need to know. I am so curious what she figured out.
No, some people are just absolutely inept when it comes to working a cell phone.
I know. Well, this week my phone, I was trying to do something. Remember that? And it kept just shutting down. And I said, what in the world is going on? And David was like, oh, it's your Android. That's what happens. If you had an Apple, it wouldn't have happened.
And it
blah,
was.
Blah, 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 blah. It was.
'cause of
But
Android.
here's what I did.
Everyone had that problem.
And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to Google it. And guess what? Twitter was blowing up because Android was crashing. And the answer was right there. So
snap.
crazy.
So it was.
Yep.
So it was actually a internal issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that issue.
Great.
So all I had to do was
Crazy.
uninstall something.
Hey, can
Fixed
you
it.
can you
Not
put
easy.
up Anderson's? That I am so impressed by this Anderson.
Highlights. Installed a new ceiling fan with remote, including replacing the electrical box with supporting brace by myself, which is
Wow.
a feat considering how electrically uninclined I am.
Listen, I will.
Wow, that household.
That's actually
They accomplished a lot this week.
I know you guys did a lot. The Barbosa's win the week.
That's one of my phobias is getting electrocuted. Like I'm scared of electricity.
Yes, or that it like lights on fire 2 weeks from now, and then you're just like, oh, guess I installed it wrong.
Or your TV falls off the wall.
Or the TV falls off the wall.
Oh,
That's
no.
another one.
That's funny.
You know, like when you were kids, you play with a 9-volt battery. You're like, oh, you can test it. You can put your tongue on it. I
Oh
never did that.
yes.
I
No.
never did. I was
It's
too
just a
scared.
little shock. It's not bad, right, puppy?
So yeah, Nikki also has a pixel that happened to her this week.
Yep.
Kathy / Annie Malari says daffodils are sprouting, birds are singing on my runs, which is really nice. Adam, his highlight, having a stay-at-home spring break.
Nice.
Yay. Oh, yeah,
Marie-
spring break.
Marie's responding to David. The word, yes, the word was. I said it in the worship video, so Tyler echoed my sentiments.
Oh, so now Marie, so now you trying to take credit for Tyler. I see what you're doing there. That's all right, because he's your son. So you get to take all the credit, girl.
David, you should take a look at this comment by Ryan. This may have been DC's best series to date. Which is really awesome.
Is somebody playing the...
I think David.
Oh, David. We can
You guys
hear
have
your
to lower
phone.
it. Yeah.
Tyler says, me and my mom had a mother-son hangout day last Sunday. P.S. Everyone should do this.
Oh, that's so
Tyler's a
cute.
sweet boy. He's going through Bible study classes with a couple other kids for baptism. Tyler's already been baptized, but he loves learning. And he always is first to every book and chapter of the Bible. Always gives good responses. He's a good kid. Good kid. God honored Larry's prayer over my phone and restored all functions after I fried it. Yeah, I tried to call Kathy earlier this week, and her phone went straight to voicemail because like she plugged her phone in, and then she said that the power short-circuited her phone,
What?
and it like erased everything, which is crazy.
That's scary.
Crazy. And tomorrow is an entire door lock actuator on our Honda. We'll see what happens.
What is that?
Does your car not open? That's what I'm thinking. It is. Ooh, Lisa. We got granite countertops and we didn't install them.
It's okay.
And I got a new phone server. Pure Talk USA. I had to enter all the internet configuration settings, which Anderson did initially, but I wasn't able to do multimedia text, so I went back to the configuration. Notice it's MMSC, I don't know what that is. Car was incorrect to enter, so I entered it by myself, and it worked. But that's actually pretty high-level
Wow.
stuff, to be honest.
I know. I don't even know where that is or that it's there.
Me neither. All right.
That's very cool.
Let's see. What else are the highlights that you guys have? Or let's do this. Let's talk pizza. Best pizza.
Okay, so let me explain to you our dilemma. So we used to go to Aurelio's, which Ryan Helserman recommended. And so we got this, it wasn't deep dish, it was thick crust. And it was so good. So then I called, like, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago to order a pizza. And they say, oh, we don't do thick crust anymore. What? And so I said, okay, well, let me just get your regular crust. Because I thought maybe it is regular crust. And she's like, okay, sure. And so we get it. And it's just this thin little cracker crust. And now everywhere we go, it's either deep dish or cracker crust. And we just want thick crust. And we can't find it.
You know
Okay.
I'm glad that you bring this up because that is a good segue into our first debate club.
That's so funny.
And the debate club that I had today was deep dish or New York style pizza.
Whoa.
That was the debate club that I had today.
How cool.
Some people like deep dish. I personally like cracker crust. I like that kind
Wait, was this part of the debate, or did you just add that? Because that was really fast.
No, it was. I had it preloaded.
Okay, what you know about? What you know about Jesus caring about the pizza that we eat?
We're like,
Where's the scripture for that? There's got to be scripture for that.
There's gotta be some scripture for that.
surely Jesus ate pizza.
Maybe it's a sign that we should have pizza today. Listen, definitely. Wait, so deep dish or what was the other option?
Deep dish. Let me put it back up.
I got distracted by the fact that you had that already.
Oh,
yeah.
deep dish versus New York style.
New York style
New
every
York,
day.
for sure. Yes, for sure.
Okay,
But
so
we also like thick crust.
honestly, I'm from the East Coast, and I haven't been able to find a pizza that tops East Coast pizza, New York, Jersey pizza. Like deep dish is good, but it's not like, I don't know. It's too mushy. There's too many things in it. It's too much cheese.
Yes.
I don't know. It's just not, the crust is not like pizza crust ish. I don't know. It's just not it's not my jam.
I personally, I'm not a fan of the flop. I'm not a fan of flop.
Yes.
But I'm from Chicago. Chicagoland area, for those who are from Chicago that'll hound me for that. I'm from this area, and I'll only eat deep dish if people from out of town come into town and they're like, hey, can we get pizza? I'm like, all right, okay, we'll get deep dish.
Kind of like, yeah, this is a staple.
Yeah, it's like bringing someone to Disney. But like most people from Orlando don't go to Disney unless people are in town. So I only bring people to deep dish unless they're from out of town. But I don't like it when the pizza's thin and floppy. I like it when the pizza is cracker crusty.
Okay.
I love it.
Like a pastry? This is not a pastry pizza, Dave.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Look, this is how you know the pizza's good, right? You fold it in half, you turn it over, and when the grease strips out from it, but not the cheese. Okay, that's a big one. Pizza where the cheese falls off is not good pizza. Okay? It can't fall off. It has to be stuck onto the actual crust. Okay?
That's true.
That's true. Good pizza. I love Adam's comment. Do you see it? Can you pull it up?
Let's see here. Adam Maycock says,
yes!
Called Italian casserole.
Yes! Yes!
I will agree.
That
well,
is
let's
very
see some
true.
other people and their... So, Jeff, Fish, Deep Dish, his wife, also Deep Dish. She says Lou Malnati's. I will say, if I were to go Deep Dish, I'll go to Lou Malnati's instead of, what's that other place? Giordano's.
Really?
Giordano's, yeah.
Interesting. I really like Giordano's pizza, like their regular crust pizza. So interesting. Okay, how funny that technically deep dish pizza shouldn't be called deep dish pizza. It should be called pizza pie.
That's true, 'cause it's...
Oh.
Right? Isn't your mind blown?
Yeah.
Pizza, because it's like a pie. Like it's like
and you like cut it.
it's thick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It has
Okay.
the thick.
Another thing, people in Chicago cut their pizza in squares. Like, what is up with square pizza?
So weird. Like, yes, Kara, I so am with you.
No, pizza is a
It's because we're looking
triangle.
after people who don't want to look like that person who has 3 slices of pizza on their first go.
No, come
So
on,
they
man.
get the squares, so you feel better about things. Lisa Nelson says deep dish pizza. Nikki, my wife, says New York style pizza.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
she
yeah.
enjoys the thin crust. But Regina's throwing a curveball here.
What did Regina
Jet's
say?
Pizza. So Jet's Pizza is not. It's neither deep dish nor New York. It is Detroit. It is Detroit.
Okay, I think
So
that is
Detroit's
our
out
next
there.
place. We went to Jets last week, but we got the New York style there, which was really good. But then, yeah, Moses told us that they have this other style that we didn't get. So
That's a little. Okay, guys, wait. Do you guys remember Pizza Hut?
yes.
Okay.
That's what we had last night.
Okay, that's what I grew up eating, right? So I'm like, have they like disappeared? Are they like still in business?
Sort of. I actually watched like a 45-minute documentary about the rise and fall of Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. But okay, Pizza Hut is the only pizza I can eat an entire box of and not feel full. It's like Chinese food. It's like really weird.
That's Little Caesars for me.
Like, what do they put in it? Anyway, Andrew, do you see Andrews? Where's Andrews?
Well, let's take a look at some of these other ones. Where was I? Evie says she likes both. Linda, hey Linda, welcome. New York style, but I can't find a perfect new style in Chicago. I have a place. And it's nearby us, and I encourage all of you guys together. It's called Lil Pop's Pizza. Lil Pop's Pizza. It's a Brooklyn style pizza. It's in Naperville on Worley Road. Worley Road?
Okay. Oh, is that the same one that Cecile is saying? Looks like she said Pops.
Let's see.
We gotta put that in the comments.
Where is Cecile? There it is. Oh, she says deep dish Milani. Does she see something else?
Yeah, down there she said Pops New York style pizza in Naperville.
Yeah, that's it. Where did she say that? There it is. Little Pop's New York style pizza in Naperville. Yeah, that's the place. That's the place to go. And sharing your sentiment, Leilani. Square pieces of pizza should be outlawed.
Yes, like how you like the squares are for my kids because they don't like the crust. Cool, no problem. But like for me as an adult, what am I gonna do with this itty bitty piece of square pizza?
I know.
Like what? No, literally. Like what am I gonna do?
More of them. That's what it is.
Yep.
No.
And then you always get that one piece that's like all crust, and it's like,
thank you.
Make it even.
Yes.
Sharpino's is really good.
Best thing.
Kathy is agreeing with you, Leilani. Preach, Leilani.
I'm here.
I mean, what's wrong? I don't see anything wrong with skirt.
Look, did you see my husband being a hater? New York pizza is oily cardboard.
You're
a hater. You're a hater.
Where is it? There it is. I will say, an oily pizza, I dab the oil off the pizza. I'm not sure if you guys.
No, you gotta drip it out. Like that's just, you know what I'm saying? That's what that paper plate is for.
I got high cholesterol, so I gotta make sure I take all preventative measures. David through Bolingbrook Church, I love deep dish. You can't have that every week. Yeah, you can. I have that maybe once a year. That's what really is going on here.
Yeah.
I feel like you're just gonna have a heart attack.
Oh, 100%. My mom didn't have round pizza pans when I was growing up. It was a standard rectangular baking pan. It made sense to have square rectangular slices on it, and I lived for those square pizza slices. Whenever I see periods, I think someone's clapping.
Oh yeah. Like the. But he gotta be doing the head nod too, like.
And says it's an opportunity, Lonnie. Teach them to make triangle pieces.
Yeah.
But Anderson is saying, talk about oily cardboard.
No.
So it seems like we're pretty split down the middle. Some people really like the deep dish, and most of those people are from Chicago. And some people just really like New York style pizza. Jet's pizza is really good. Get the turbo crust, because
the turbo crust. What do they put in, like energy drink in it?
They put cheese on it, and then they caramel, like they burn it, they torch it.
Interesting.
So it's like a crispy cheese,
crunchy.
And then they put Parmesan garlic on the edges, and it's amazing. Oh my goodness, this guy's from way back in the day. The OG Chad Manalo says Joe Pizzas from the New York, the best. Chad Manalo. For those who don't know, Chad was part of our church a long time ago, and he got our media stuff going, and it was really awesome. Thanks, Chad. Good to see you on here. Regina says she likes the Cajun crust.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys like spicy things.
Here's what I'll give Chicago. Right, Chicago has good food, but being from the East Coast, I'm a little spoiled. However, I will say that Chicago was the first time that I ordered a hot dog, and they put pickles and all this random stuff on it, and I was like, what is this? Like, I almost slapped it out of the man's hand because I was like, why are these like onions? Why are there all these stuff? Like, I can't eat this hot dog. Like, my hot dog is just ketchup. If I want mustard, maybe, but just ketchup. Like, we good, right? Like that nice, like soggy New York cart hot dog. You're just, a bread and a bun. I mean, a bun and a piece of hot dog, But I will say that, like, I now love Chicago style hot dogs. Like, I could have them every day. They are
The
so
best.
good. So I'm like, give me all the toppings, and I was just not about it when I first got here. So I'll give Chicago that. Definitely,
Chad, we love you too.
Oh,
And then,
Chad.
Jeff says, don't blaspheme the hot dogs. Love Chicago style hot dogs. He goes, ketchup? Crazy talk.
Okay, but listen, I'm Puerto Rican. I put ketchup on everything. Okay, like rice.
That's a cultural thing.
Eggs. Plantain. I mean, just you name it, I put ketchup on it. So
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I can't stand the smell of ketchup. Like in our house, there's a rule that
For
if
real?
you use ketchup, you wash the dish. I will not touch it. I hate the smell of it. Absolutely hate it. And so I will not let Everly have ketchup because I'm like, I can't start that. Like I don't want her to get, into all the ketchup. Like she has this little toy ketchup and she'll hold it up and she's like, ketchup, ew, ew, ew. And I'm like, yeah.
No, stop, Kara. She's missing out.
And we
She
all
does
know
love
when
ranch,
kids get a
though.
hold of
Loves
ketchup,
ranch.
they love ketchup.
Right? Yeah, I never did. I was never that kid, but
I love so I get the Chicago style hot dog and then I add ketchup. It's the only thing missing is the ketchup.
No, it's
funny.
perfect the way it is.
No, it needs the ketchup.
Sarah says Chicago has the best food. I would say
It has very good food.
that's very good food. It's sacrilegious to put ketchup on a hot dog in Chicago. Who is this? Is this David?
I know, for real. Who is that? I don't think that's David. I don't know though, because he's not around here anymore.
Maybe Adrian, but Adrian's not from here.
But he would put ketchup on it. I feel like it has to be Adrian because he definitely would put.
Look at Jeff.
Nearly had a heart attack watching me put but mustard and ketchup on my hot dog.
Listen, but that's the best.
Bringing it back to pizza, we don't eat pizza in Brazil. You're weird if you don't put ketchup on pizza.
Yeah. Brazil
Ketchup
is another
the ideal
place.
balance of sweet, salty, sour.
Thank you. No, like, okay, so on Friday nights growing up, we would have like white rice with a fried egg and some ketchup. You'd like squirt the ketchup on the rice and you'd have it with a fried egg. It was so good. Right, Poppy?
I'll take that.
You didn't know.
No fuzzy stuff on a hot dog. What's fuzzy stuff? What would be fuzzy stuff?
No fuzzy stuff on a hot
I
dog.
hope there's
Maybe
no
no.
fuzzy stuff. That's usually
no.
that's mold.
Mold?
That's mold.
Yeah, I don't want that either.
maybe she's trying to say no funny stuff.
Maybe. Oh, special guest alert, Elijah.
Oh yes,
Elijah.
he's wearing the onesie. It says tiny human. Look, puppy. Look over here. What are you looking at? Nothing. All
I like
right.
his hair.
Thank you.
Oh.
It looks a little crazy. Say hi for everybody. I think I'm teething. Yes.
Oh.
I'm driving us crazy.
Jeff is adding more to this discussion. By its definition, not Chicago style if you desecrate it with ketchup. Ketchup is fuzzy stuff.
Oh.
Woo, that is
I love
funny.
that.
This is good.
I love that. Well, let's go to our next segment. Sorry, I worked hard on these little graphics.
I'm so proud of you. It's great.
It'll be a quick one.
Gold star.
It'll lead us into our next segment. Crown it or frown it.
Pew 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 pew.
Crown it
Adrian.
or frown it.
Adrian, you should give me some brownie points for pew pewing for the people.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? I'm
And
stepping
this
in.
is this is supposed to try to help us too, because springtime's upon us, and we want to see
Yay,
what
finally.
is the best springtime activity. But today I want to talk about. Let me see if I can pull this picture up. Let's say you want to lose. You don't want to lose weight. You're the opposite of me, and you just want to have butter everywhere. And let me see if I
Butter
can pull this up.
everywhere. I'm scared.
I know.
You want to have butter everywhere, and let's see.
Hold
Let
on.
me see if I can pull this up.
Sarah.
And you just want to make sure that you're ready for anything. Let's say you have a piece of toast, and you add
The anticipation is
butter
Stop!
in stick form.
Okay,
No.
listen. Listen, guys. That's a crown for me. That you know how many knives that saves?
Dude,
This is just saving knives.
what do you guys think about this butter in stick form in your pocket? What
Butter
are
in
the
my
pros,
pocket.
what are the
Butter
cons?
in my
Well,
pocket.
would it melt this?
Thank you. Okay, would it melt?
Oh, that's true.
But
I mean, yeah, I like the concept. It looks like a glue stick. I feel like that could
it
be very
does.
confusing.
Okay, but it's similar to the
I think,
sriracha. You know the little
hang on
sriracha
a second.
bottles on the
It's
go?
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
call.
those are so cute.
Yeah, see, like sriracha, you can have a sriracha bottle and a butter stick, like perfect. You
Yeah.
like you're ready for any occasion. Biscuits, no
Exactly.
problem. I got a
Oh,
butter
Lost
stick.
you,
yeah.
guys. I lost you. What's going on
Tacos.
here?
Wait, you're still
No,
you're
you're
still
still
on
here.
Uh,
Uh-oh.
You guys
We
still
can't
there?
shut you off.
No, everybody's good. Where are you? Can everybody hear us?
Oh, okay. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Oh, okay. Can you hear
Good.
us?
Okay.
Are you sure
I got a
Everly's not over
call.
there, like, with her Bluetooth keyboard?
She's on like Bluetooth keyboard somewhere. Let's see
Seek
here.
crown,
but
yep.
not in the pocket. Nikki says yes. I would definitely crown that.
Yes.
Appreciate that, my love. David
Aw.
says crown it. Kathy says crown. This is a good one. Regina says
Yeah.
crown.
I
It
feel
for
like,
butter in
yeah,
stick
this is
form.
like,
for spreading.
Exactly. You know how many dishes I don't have to do?
Carrie, what were you saying?
I don't remember.
Adam is confused. He's wondering what's happening.
Come on, Adam, join the crew.
Especially if you know what? It's interesting. I bet all these people cook in their households that are saying crown it, because
Yes.
some people won't know what to do with it. Not only not,
Exactly.
but butter is too cold; it won't spread. You just scrape. Yes.
That's the worst.
Don't you
So-
hate that?
Okay, so it's funny. I don't have to worry about that because I use gluten-free bread, and gluten-free bread isn't naturally soft.
It's
So
made from cardboard.
Oh, that's nice.
no, it's not cardboard. It's just a little tougher than your regular bread.
Oh, that's funny.
You have to warm up before you eat gluten-free bread. Jeff is wondering butter for your hot dog, Leilani?
Jeff, come
Oh,
on.
there we go.
Come on. I do have limits. I do have limits, and butter is probably it. I mean, listen, a buttered bun.
Oh, yeah,
Like-
no, that's what I was thinking. I feel like that would make it better.
Yeah, like
Actually,
a toasted buttered
Yes.
bun with a hot dog
Yes.
on it. I think we could do that. All right, Jeff. I think I'm gonna try that next time I have a hot dog.
I might try that later on tonight. Adeline is wondering why they're putting glue on their toes.
Yes.
Yep. It's exactly what it looks like.
Oh man. Well, it looks like this was a big crown. I feel like everyone.
I don't know. Were
Everyone
there
else
any
does
frown?
this.
Like maybe one.
I don't see any frown.
No frown. This was a good one.
No, I think Marie put a frown.
The people like it. You know what? Next time we have an event, we need to just get the buttered glue sticks and slap on the BC
Oh, yeah.
label. Like a butter stick for you, a butter stick for you.
Just throw it at people.
Toss around.
Gluten-free bread is not bread.
It is, guys. Don't hate. It is. It's just without gluten.
Man. Well, I want to transition now. That was a good fun time.
That was a good one.
Transition now to the sermon. We're going to engage with the word that we just heard. What are your thoughts about it? What were your initial thoughts when you were listening to the message, ladies? I feel like, because Ryan said this was the best series that we've had ever, like to date. And I think maybe, I mean, why do you guys think it was such a freeing message? Like, what do you guys think about how people are unchained from this series? Like, what was it about the series as a whole? And we'll ask the chat too, their opinions.
Yeah, Ryan can kind of share why he thought so.
But I think it was perfect. I think it was a great way to end the series, and lead into the resurrection. Because, like, I don't know. Do you guys feel like? I mean, Leilani, you're going through a whole show where you're talking about, people leaving their, like, knowing their story, and accepting it, and a lot of them are experiencing just what we're going through right now with the series, like this freedom of the way I used to live. What have you noticed about people's stories when it comes to freedom? Like, what what held them back and what launched them forward in your story sessions?
So yeah, so it's great because something that Pastor David touched on that I think is key is that, you know, and I'm going to say I'm going to generalize it because I think we all struggle with this at some point in our lives, right? But I think that all of us at some point tell ourselves or convince ourselves that the thing we're holding on to is best for us, right? Because we're afraid of the unknown. So if we let it go, we're afraid of what may or may not come, right? Like we're afraid of the consequences. You're going to have to learn something new. You're going to have to unlearn things. And I think one of the things that he touched on and the power of, owning and sharing your story is that you shift that power, right? You release that thing outside of yourself to say, no, like it's no longer about me. I'm willing to now walk in discomfort. I'm willing to walk in faith. I'm willing to walk without control, right? And the things that we hold on to it's what he said, right? It's like, okay, there's something that God may want to give you that is better than what you're holding on to. But because we're so used to walking in that way, guys, I heard this stat. I was going to use it for the show. Did you know? But they were saying that 95% of our behavior is autopilot. Almost 95% of our daily behavior is autopilot behavior. It's like
that's scary.
You don't even think about it because it's kind of, when you're like driving home, you've taken the same path, and sometimes you get home and you're like, how did I even get here? Like you don't remember driving, but so much of our behavior is us creating these pathways, right, of doing over and over and over and over again. And so I think the same thing happens. Like the fishermen, like Paul, these guys, they're fishermen. It was natural behavior. They didn't have to think about it, right? Until Jesus says, no, cast it on the other side. And they're like, wait, what? But it's that thing. It's like, are you willing to kind of relinquish what you believe is comfortable, normal, you can't share, so that you can have what God has for you? And oftentimes what he has for you is better than anything you're holding on to, Mm-hmm. So it was really powerful. That word today was really powerful for me, just as a reminder to like, let it go. Like, just listen, open hands, like, all right, God.
Stop spreading your butter with knives. Get this stick butter.
Right. Good. Leave good for better. You know what I'm saying? Leave good for better.
You can have this butter wherever you go, and you're still fiddling around, measling around with these knives and making the holes in your bread.
Yes. So did you see Ryan's response? I think that's absolutely spot on. Yeah.
It reminded me every week that I'm loved unconditionally and that freedom from the past is exciting.
Yes.
And there is a master plan for me. And it's crazy because when I think about the gospel and I think about the master plan that all the apostles took up, they had a different metric for what a good life looked like, because all of them lived by a lot of the world standard, a lot of Western standards, a really bad life. A lot of them died very, very inhumanely. A lot of them were poor. They were homeless. They were hated. But real freedom was, and this is crazy, Leilani, you mentioned that we're 95% autopilot, right?
Yeah.
What's crazy is it made me think about the question in my head: do we actually have any self-agency now? Like, is there any time where I actually choose for myself? Because like, if I'm unfree, I'm a creature of habit. I'm doing things because that's the system, right?
Yes.
In prison, you wake up at a certain doors open at a certain time, lunch at a certain time, rec's at a certain time. There's like, you follow a schedule because you are in prison. You have no self-agency there.
Right.
And the opposite of that is complete self-agency. I'm constantly choosing in the moment what's best. And for the apostles, they were constantly choosing to spread the gospel at every junction. And it always led them to a terrible place, either in jail, shipwrecked on an island, bitten by snakes, crucified upside down, being stoned, whatever you talk about, isolated on an island, like all these different things they were placed into when they gave themselves over to Christ's mission. But each and every single step was a moment of self-agency where they chose Jesus in that moment versus just going on autopilot, which is cool.
Absolutely.
Kathy says, the word was a powerful message and so meaningful for our family as we watch the girls move forward with God.
That's good.
I love that. Anderson. Let's look at what David said. It gave us freedom to let go of the things that no longer are good for us and keep us back from the life God calls us into.
Yes.
Message was great today, though. I don't want to let go of my Marie says the sermon confirms some messages I've been receiving to trust God and move into the unknown, leaving what's comfortable and convenient behind.
Yes.
That's powerful.
Absolutely.
What were you gonna say, Leilani?
I was gonna ask a question unless you had another one.
No, go ahead.
So, man, I know. To Sarah's point, man, I know I personally have struggled with that too, right? Like struggling. She says, I like most people struggle with change. When I decided to move to an outpatient setting in my nursing career after mostly working with inpatients, I had a really hard time transitioning. After a couple of months, I ended up loving it. God sees the bigger picture when we can't. Yes. So I guess my question to everybody is, why do we hold on, or what keeps us holding on to those things? Like, what is it about change or letting go of something that makes it so hard for us if we believe in God, right? We believe He has better for us. Why is it so hard? So yeah, I'd love to hear what people, I know what it might be for me, but like, what is it for everybody else? Is it the same thing?
I'll let that sit for a second.
I know, because I very much struggle with change. My entire life, I've struggled with change. And I don't know. I mean, I really think it is that, the Israelites are like, I would rather be in slavery where I know what to expect than to be like wandering out here, and so it's just, but again, it's like, that doesn't answer why, why is it more comfortable to sit and just, something that's not good. I mean, because I can look back on and see so many times, like exactly like what Sarah's saying is like, when you finally just give up and let go, it's like, oh yeah, this is so much better. But it's like taking that leap. So
yes, the journey there is so hard.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So I know a lot of people are in a space right now that, like, for us personally, man, I should ask Nikki if I should share this. Nikki!
Maybe if you need to ask her, you don't.
Because I think metrics is a lot of things that hold us back. And I say that because a lot of us don't want to change our metrics when we think about success or when we think about life. We like to see I remember my dad back in the day. I mean, he's from the Philippines. He immigrated here, and when he was in his early 20s, and his metric for the American dream was I asked my dad when I was in middle school, I'm like, hey, do you feel like you're living the American dream? He's like, yeah, I have a house, I have a car, I have a job, I have a savings. I could walk down the street and rent a movie. Like, I'm living the American dream.
Wow.
And it feels like when we find ourselves outside of that, we're like, oh, maybe I'm not. Maybe I need to find that metric again.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to our jobs, we'll find ourselves in dead-end jobs that are taking away from us, and we're only using that job as a paycheck. We're only using whatever situation we're in to feed a very small aspect of who we are as humans.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of us might be in toxic relationships because it gives one aspect. At least I'm not alone. Like, that's one aspect, but that relationship, that situation is taking so much more away from you. But you're judging by one aspect, one metric. And so I feel like a lot of us hold on to those metrics, those single one-dimensional aspects of life, and we find things to feed those things when God is saying, no, I'm here to feed all of your needs. I'm here to satisfy all of your needs.
For sure, for sure. I like what Yulani says. If you go like, because we got a whole bunch of comments that just started coming in.
It's loss of control. That's why it's hard for me. If I stay where I am, I know all the possible outcomes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one's a huge one. I'd almost say that's definitely it for me. Control. Because then that loss of control makes you feel like yeah, you can't, you don't know, right? You don't know what's coming. You don't know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so the scriptural response to that for me, like that just popped into my head, because she says, if I stay where I am, I know all the possible outcomes, right? In 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9, a lot of us know this. It says, however, it is written that no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, like when it comes to thinking about, because I'm like this, I try to think about as many outcomes as I can and try to narrow them down to the best possible one. But in order for us to take the leap into what God is calling us into, he's saying, hey, but only through me are you able to actually see the things that you can't see. So like you can see outcomes, but I see, like if you think you can see all the outcomes, you should see what I can see. You know, like you should see the outcomes that I'm able to look at.
Definitely.
Jeff says, fear makes us wait, to doubt, to question. I also think it's our survival instincts to try to protect ourselves. We have to give up what we know and allow our future to be led by God.
Mm-hmm.
Fear. Anne says, when we are on autopilot, we are actually on brain preservation. Though it's easier to get through the day, there are no conscious thoughts to allow change to take place. And we are afraid for the actual work it will take to make changes. Man.
Yeah. The work is hard. Like it takes intentionality and self-awareness and all these other things that just take what I think Anderson said this earlier, right? The book that he read about the ruthless elimination of hurry, right? Like we'd have to slow down enough to actually become aware of those things that need to change, right?
How do we slow down?
Did you see Ryan's post?
Let's see here. It's hard to let go of what you have because it can seem that it's all you're allowed to have. But then you get so much more.
Isn't that's crazy.
But yeah, how do you guys slow down? Like, how do you guys slow down your pace and to be able to observe things from a different perspective?
So my dad shared this quote with me a while ago, and it's kind of what I've started to try to adopt. And it's let whatever happens be okay. And I've been reading too, like in Philippians, and I think it was Philippians chapter 4, and it says, you know, like in any circumstances, in all circumstances, you know, and like just let it, and it was essentially was like the same thing, like just let it be okay. And so that's like anytime something starts to like, you know, happen, or, you know, when I feel that like, that itch, you know, and it's like, okay, yeah, like I just need to chill out, like slow down and do that. It's just like, okay, let me just let it be okay. Like it doesn't mean it has to be perfect. Cause like, I think that's a lot of times what I get caught up in too, is that like, I want everything to be like perfect, you know, like if I'm going to change jobs or if something's going to happen, like I want everything to already be lined up and be perfect. And so it's like, it doesn't have to be that way. And it also doesn't mean that this is like the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Like, you know, like, let me just let it be okay. And so that has really helped me to kind of slow down and just think about that when, you know, stuff. Yeah. When I get that horrible itch to change.
I hope I got that quote right. Let the thing.
Let whatever happens be okay.
I got it wrong. Whatever happens. Let the thing. Whatever. What was it?
Let whatever happens be okay. So like in all your circumstances, yeah, just let it be okay.
All things work together for good.
That's the other. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think Man, yeah, I think I've learned this now, but this was definitely not. Yeah, I have a hard time. I'm a control freak, so I have a hard time letting go of control. I've gotten much better the last few years, but I think you know what. What's helpful for me has been to. I love that Kara, that kind of the let things, whatever happens, be okay, because I think it's so easy to kind of sit in ruminating about the things that are happening to us instead of just saying like, okay, no, this is okay. There's a way out. So for me, a big one is recognizing I have a choice. I have a choice in every scenario and every situation. How I react, how I respond, right? What I do and how I navigate it. And that's been so powerful. Just that shift in saying, I have a choice. I have a choice. But slowing down is, it takes so much intentionality. It takes so much intentionality. But I think one of the ways that I slow down is to journal. So journaling and writing helps me slow down mentally, to be able to actually process things and see things from a better perspective when I need to kind of like stop. And you know what too? Physically slowing down. I remember a couple years ago for my birthday, Adrian put me in a hotel for a couple of days without the kids or whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna go to Target and get all these whatever I want. I'm just gonna go shopping, right?
Walk around.
And like, yes, by myself because I can. And like when I tell you, there was one point I was walking through Target and I had to stop because I was like, why am I out of breath? I was huffing and puffing, okay? Like literally, like I had never like exercised a day in my life. And I'm like, why is my beat? But I realized that I was literally running through Target. Like I had nowhere to go, nobody with me. But like my actual normal state was that, right? It was this kind of constant going, right? You go to the grocery store with the 3 kids or 2 kids at the time, and it's just like you have like 30 minutes before everybody goes crazy and starts breaking things, and you just have to get out. And like I had to physically stop in Target and go, I had to take a deep breath. I had to stop and say, you're good. Slow down. There's nowhere to go. And I had to physically like actually force myself to like slow down and walk slowly. And I felt so weird at Target walking slow, like but it's what I had to do to kind of shift that autopilot mode of like go, constantly on the go, you know?
To like shock your system.
Yes. So it's sometimes that just physical stopping, right? And taking a deep breath that helps me slow down.
Regina says and she's speaking to kind of that. We've been trained all our lives to learn to do things a certain way. So when we need or want to change, it's disruptive to that pattern. We are efficient. So relearning something doesn't seem efficient and it's viewed as cumbersome instead of liberating. And that's kind of what you experienced, right, Leilani? You were like, this is cumbersome. This is weird. I'm slowing down and it's awkward.
It's awkward. It's awkward. Absolutely. But it is liberating. I think change can sometimes feel overwhelming too, right? Like, where do I start? How do I start? You know? But it is freeing.
Sarah's sharing an experience, but when I learned from changing my job position, it made me a better nurse. It was a new challenge and it stopped me from becoming burnt out.
Yes.
And I think that's so cool because in the life of a lot of organizations and leaders, there comes to a point where you either change the way you reinvent yourself and you change the way you lead, or you no longer become an asset to the organization or to the place that you're in. Because you're trying to operate the same way. Like I heard a sermon a while ago and they were talking about how Samson used the jawbone before, but that doesn't mean that the jawbone will continue to be of the same use in the future.
Right.
Like David used a sling when he killed Goliath, but he never used a sling again because he was no longer that person. Right? So like a lot of times I feel like this series Unchained spoke to a lot of letting go of old habits and things that held us back. And like one of those things is our own perception of ourselves, like how we view ourselves. Like thinking that I'll always be that person back then. And so let me just go back to what I was doing and see if I can get a different result. But in my own life, I found that doing that will only give me the same result that I have found myself in.
Yeah.
Even if it's
yeah.
and that might be like a mediocre result,
Yeah.
and that might satisfy what Regina says, what I've trained for my whole life, and it's no longer disruptive. But like what Sarah's saying, like, hey, that disruption made me into a better person, a better nurse, more effective at my job.
Yes, it usually does. Kathy had some flashbacks. She said just brought back memories. Get out before stuff starts breaking, girl. Oh my gosh. So many. Yeah. Instacart has been the best thing ever.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Yeah, but if you're anything like my wife, you go in there for Instacart stuff and you leave with more than Instacart stuff.
That's true. Let's
see. Cooking has taught me to be okay with when whatever happens to something I am preparing. If it doesn't turn out as intended, I've learned to be creative to turn it into something else. Most times it turns out to be better.
Absolutely.
Oh, Anderson is proposing. So here's a slowdown challenge. I just had to try with very little success in the past 2 days. Drive at the speed limit and fully stop at stop signs. I've been failing miserably so far, but there's hope for a sailor like me.
That's
the male version
interesting.
Absolutely. That's a good place to.
Oh man. Well, that's a good conversation. Anything else you guys want to add to as we finalize the Unchained series? Anything that stuck out to you?
Just what we've said. I think there's freedom in letting God take over and letting the things that we're afraid of or that need to change in our lives go. And so just challenging us to slow down enough to hear and to see what it is he wants from our lives.
It really is like someone said up here, I think it was Anderson, when we asked, how do you guys slow down? And he said Sabbath. And I think honestly that's a good practice to get into is using the Sabbath to like as a way marker to be like, hey, I'm going to slow down today and I'm going to review what my week was and appreciate where God is taking me into next week. I love that.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you guys. That was a good conversation. We're going to end here. We're at our hour, and a lot of us are hungry. A lot of us are wanting to enjoy the beautiful weather. And I'm banking that it's not going to storm this evening. I'm going to bank that it's not going to storm.
In the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus, because I just learned this week or last week that percentage of rain is not how much rain, it's the chance of it raining. So there's a good chance that it might not rain this week or today.
That is so funny.
So guys, slow down. I think that's the moral of this story is to slow down. Realize that God is in control. Realize that God is taking you into a new future and accept it. Believe it and be in God's presence. Allow him to put you beside still waters. Make you breakfast every now and then. And just let you know that he's in control. So you guys have a great week. Be blessed. We'll see you next week. Oh, and make sure you're here. 301 East Mountain Road next Saturday at 12:30 p.m. And there's a children's pre-service experience at 11:30 a.m. To get kids ready for the Resurrection Weekend service. So guys, make sure you're there. If you have children, 11:30. If you don't have children, 12:30. Bring blankets, bring chairs, bring anything to keep you warm, whatever that looks like. We should get good weather, but we'll see you guys next week at our resurrection celebration. We'll see you guys later.
Can't wait. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.